Hi Scorpio. All right, welcome to this place. Welcome back if you're returning. So I just wanted to show my face to say hi. I know I've been hiding. It's because I've been molting. This Mars and Cancer energy is beautifully powerful, and I'm taking full advantage. And I know you're very well aware of shedding, right? It's also the year of the snake. Happy Lunar New Year, Happy New Year, and thank you for your patience. You have an extra reading over on Patreon, so if you're over there, you will see that. Talked a lot about getting back into yourself, getting back to yourself. I'm seeing the word support. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can look, because I have a really pretty green cloth, which I feel like just focusing on the heart chakra color will be helpful. This is a trine time to you within the heart chakra, so that's beautiful. Just caught something out of the corner of my eye. All right, let me bring the camera down and we'll choose some cards, okay? Let's see. Do you want to, is that okay? Let's see if I can tweak that just a little bit. And you can see a little bit of me, that's fine. Maybe the cats will walk by. Okay, let's give you a little bit of that. Right there? Right there. All right, Scorpio, let's see what the situation is. Oh, we're supposed to choose a black card first. Let's see, Scorpio. You wanna pick one? Okay. So the holy days and just right. We actually did the moon reading over on Patreon. No, Ricky, not right now, honey. And there's actually a very holy day. Actually, there's a lot of holy, right? H-O-L-I also happens during this time frame. Maybe some of you celebrate that. Happy Holy. Or you have some significance. Maybe some of you just want to look it up. Right before this new moon, I don't know if this will be out before then, but to me it flows throughout. But on the 25th of February is actually the night of Shiva. I feel like that's very important to Scorpio energy for some reason specifically. There's a lot to it, but I guess the finest thread is about alleviating the soul's heaviness and finding more of the eternal internally. Can we leave that like that? All right, it's kind of, I don't know if I can have these sort of like in these spaces. I guess we just needed to say that. I keep feeling like there's a slant right here, even though there's not. So holy days and just right. That's the three little bears, right? Just right. This one's too hot. This one's too cold. This is just right. Let's see, Scorpio. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, that's pretty perfect. Actually, we have the card of fear. And then we have the card of meditation. So we are meant to meditate on Fear will help. Oh, interesting. I didn't mean to say that. All right, let's try to see. Fear, someone else talked about this recently. Fear will help when it is necessary. Like it will. If you put the fear aside, that is no longer relevant, right? That lizard brain reactionary, right? All Scorpio energy to me, anybody who has it strongly, or even if it's empty, there's no stars there, but it's in a difficult house, it's going to give the lesson and the experience of the soul remembering death, which is fear, right? It's scary to most to die. And even dying potentially, we're just having a lesson here potentially about having to deal with the soul remembering violence, or like violent, scary things, this life, other lives. So when you can ease the fear that is no longer relevant in this time and space, then even when you need it, right? Like, oop, there's a snake. Then your body's going to kick in. Your natural, that's part of the earthly, I see the earthly measures. Like, that will automatically kick in. You don't have to worry about, well, if I'm peaceful, how am I going to protect myself when I need to? If I'm so chill, if I'm so laid back, Pisces season, right? If I'm so laid back, how am I going to protect myself? But you see here in this fear card, it's a child. And to me, when I look at it kind of quickly, like when I just tap into the energy of it, not exactly the full imagery, it feels like she's just leaning back on this tree like, dude, what are you tripping about, fear? Like, it's not allowing the things that try to scare us, whether they're outside of us or within us. It's just being conscious of, I guess, again, of like what's necessary. So someone's handling with care, just right, seemingly at this time. Trust yourself in the slam dunk. So you can do this right now. Some of you that have been practicing your meditation, or this may be, remember, meditation, hold on a second. Let's read from Gareth Knight for, oh, you want to just meditate on this image for a second? I told Aquarius on their birthday last month, but I do actually have a cell phone now. I prefer a house phone solely. I'll get there, but right now I have one. It's a tool, and that's what I like to use it for. And I actually found a really great free app that doesn't track you at all. It doesn't have, and it reminds me, it's actually based on Muslim belief, because it's a handful of times a day, which actually goes in line with nature. Like on the sunrise, you sit quietly and pray. We'll talk more about that in a second. And then at noon, when the sun is directly above us on the MC, then we pray. Then when the sun is on the descendant at sunset, then we pray. And then before we go to bed, we pray. And we hit these 4 points. But I know, only I guess I can say I know that it feels to me that most people, when we say meditation, it's a word that sort of gets passed off, right? Sort of too easily. And I don't know if it is always explained exactly the way, like so easily. There, it says here, number 13, page 15, which is death and the devil, right? Which is death of fear. It is shifting unnecessary. I see these hooks. There are 3 stages to training the training of the mind. And this particularly is talking about Raja Yoga, which is the education of consciousness through meditation and contemplation. The very first stage of training of the mind is concentration. Without concentration, this is particularly occult work, any occult work is impossible, for it requires the faculty to hold an image in the mind, often for long periods. The only way to learn how to hold an image in one's mind, and I'm seeing this also as like the fine-tuning or refining the ability to use the mind like as a tool, right? We were just saying. The only way to learn how to hold an image in mind is to do it. The easiest way, I suppose, is starting by imagining just an object. You know, say I'm seeing a soccer ball. It's kind of simple because it's black and white, has a contrast. I'm sure there's just, how many sides are on a soccer ball or football, depending where you're from. But it says hold that object, hold it in your mind. This is for 10 minutes. If you're working through things difficultly or you're trying to build ability, then try for 1 minute first, right? Even if you happen to float off after 10 seconds, just bring yourself back to that place. And some of you, what you need is a happy place where your inner child is not scared. Think of yourself when you were little, really little, but like a conscious being, like where you remember you can see your hands. Do you know what I mean? And I know you have a positive one in there where she or he was safe and was playing, and there's no worry within it. This is maybe the place that you want to imagine, or bring yourself back to if necessary. Because once this power of concentration has been achieved, then meditation is possible. Gareth Knight says, meditation is the concentrated examination of something, whether it be an image or an idea. And while the mind is fixed upon it, allowing ideas to rise around it, right? And allowing those ideas to rise around it. That's what I'm saying is I think most people are twisted. Even myself, it took a long time to really wrap my head around this, wrap my heart around it, was that meditation does not mean there is necessarily nothing and we fail if we float. No, what rises around it is actually very helpful because, again, meditation is the concentrated examination of something. I'm picturing like where the meditation or the focus, the concentration is like the surgery. And when meditation is involved, we get to this other level, then we can examine around it or what happens to, again, be a part of that wider scenario. Because once you go past an object, you can start moving into places that are more detailed, right? It can even be where it's now moving. The picture is moving. This also says the secret of success in ways of meditation or training of the mind is also to work in short, regular practice rather than long bouts of irregular intervals, right? Maybe it is just 1 minute, 5 times a day. Set a timer on your phone. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a clock in their pocket now, right? And we don't even wear watches anymore. Okay, moving on. So I guess we wanted to read that just to... Oh, one last thing. We got to touch on the 3 stages. Concentration, which is the imagination. Meditation, which is the examination of the imagination. And then number 3 is contemplation, which follows meditation and can well be used in conjunction with it. He says it is difficult to describe because it is such a simple process. It is really only a question of being aware. In addition to the concentration and receptivity of meditation, it has in it the qualities of faith, love, and tranquility. Meditation is analytical. It dwells upon statements, principles, or ideas about something. Contemplation, again being the 3rd stage, is of a synthesizing nature. It is simply a calm gaze upon something that has been previously realized. It is